Hello guys, my name is Robbie.
My name is John. We wanted to discuss with you today. I know that there's been quite a few people that have questions that need answered about finding a Russian woman from Russia and bringing her to the United States for marriage. Now, in order to do that, you need a K-1 visa. That's the first thing. You have to go for a K-1 visa. Now, there are a lot of regulations that you need to go through. You can either hire an attorney, which is what I did, and I regret doing that. I should have done it myself. Or you can just do it yourself. You can go to the United States government website and you can download all the applications. There's an abundance of information that you need to have for you and for her. You need parents' names, birth dates, where they were born. You need yours. Anybody that's related to you, that's going to be living with you. You need to make sure that you have a good enough job in order to support her when she comes to America, so that it doesn't fall back on the government for welfare or something like that. You have to show all of that in this paperwork, so be prepared. It takes a good 3 months, I would say, for the paperwork just to fill it out. It's so intense. And if your Russian woman is the same as mine, she speaks some English but not fluently, which means you're going to have to do your paperwork as well as help her with hers, which is very difficult. For example, Robbie was born in Tajikistan but lived in Moscow. Now you have to have all of her police records. If you have to she has to go to the police stations and get records stating that she's not a felon from everywhere that she's lived in her life for 5 years, I believe it was. And so, which meant she had to take a trip from Moscow to Tajikistan to go to the police station and beg to get one from them, because sometimes that can take up to a month or more to get them to respond to you. So it's a lengthy process, but you can do it. It can be done. I did it, and I'm just a layman. I don't know anything. So to help you along, the first thing that you need to know is you need to have met the woman. You need to go on vacation with her. You need to go to Russia with her to meet her. You need to have pictures of you two together, either on a date at a restaurant. You need to have some during the day where you're just together. You need to have multiple pictures to file with your stuff. You need to have, if you talk on Skype, if you have letters that you write to each other, you need to hold on to all of those, because you'll need to have proof that you two are actually in love and talking all the time. Now, if you choose to do it yourself, you can go to the government sites and you can download the paperwork. It'll pretty much tell you step by step and show you everything that you need to fill out. It's going to take a long time. Now, after that is done, you'll need to pay, I think it's $325 or something like that to file for the visa. Now, when that happens, it's still at that point. They go through and they look through everything, make sure you're not a felon, she's not a felon, you have a job, she's not diseased, because they won't let anybody with any kind of disease into the United States. You'll get an answer back from them stating that the visa application has been approved. Now, once that happens, then she will need to go and make appointments at the American Embassy in whatever town in Russia or wherever she lives. Make an appointment for an interview, and once that happens, that you can do within a couple of weeks to a month after it's been approved. It's pretty fast for that. But she'll need to at that time she'll need to schedule a physical for herself or anyone else that you're bringing over. If she has children, they'll have to have the physical as well, and she'll need the papers from the doctor to take in for the interview. Once all that's done, and your visa, once it's accepted, is pretty much approved as long as nothing goes wrong in the interview. And all they're going to ask her in the interview is, what was it they asked you in the interview? You have to forgive her. She's blonde. Although the black roots are coming in, so I believe she's starting to get a little smarter. They don't ask very much questions. Just, do you know him? Are you in love with him? Do you really want to go to the United States? What do you want? What are your plans when you get there? Just simple little questions. They're fairly easy. Anybody can get through it pretty quickly. Now, once that happens, it takes like a week, maybe 2 weeks at the top before she gets the visa in the mail. It'll actually come. She'll have to leave her passport, and it'll actually come attached to her passport back to her via FedEx to her house. Once she gets that, she's legal to go. She's ready to go to the United States. So be prepared with your airline tickets because she's going to want to leave right then. Now, hopefully she's not like my wife that missed 3 planes on the way over here. Ended up spending New Year's Eve in the London airport. Anyway, besides that, when she gets here, you have 90 days in order to get married. We did it within 1 month, so it was pretty easy for us to do. I live close to Reno, so just to bounce over the hill, and we got married and came back. Now, I was told through my attorney that, I was buying the K-1 visa to get her to America. I had 90 days to get married, and then all was good. Well, that's not the case. What actually happens is, yes, she has 90 days with the visa once she hits the ground in the United States. You have 90 days to get married. And once you're married, yes, she's legal to stay here until her visa expires in 90 days. Well, her visa is still going to expire in 90 days regardless of whether she's married or not. Now she's living she's married to me, so she's technically not illegal, but she's not technically legal because she does not have a green card. That's another thing she has to get, is a green card. Now that's the expensive one that they don't tell you about. That one is right around roughly $1,300 just to file the paperwork for the green card. It's fairly simple paperwork, but it's expensive. Now, if she has children, you'll have to do that for each person, and the price is the same for each person. So if you bring over a family of 5, good luck, because that's a lot of money. Now, some of the easy things. We met online through a dating site. I was working in Iraq as a contractor, so it was very easy for me to talk online to her through this dating site. And I'd like to very much recommend this dating site if you're still looking for a Russian woman, because it's a minimal price. I think it was $60 for a year to join this site. And all the women there are actual Russian women. They're not models. They're not fake girls that are trying to steal all your money because you're an American. Now, granted, there are some, but they pretty much check them out and they'll kick them out as soon as somebody complains about them. So the odds are you're going to find somebody that's real. And once you do that, you need to make arrangements to either fly to Russia, fly to Turkey, fly to Thailand, fly to anywhere, and have her meet you there or meet her at her hometown. Now, a lot of Russian women like you to come to their hometown because they want you to meet their family, or they're shy. They don't want to meet somebody in another country for the first time because they probably never left Russia. I mean, that's something you'll have to deal with. Now, I didn't have that problem because she's not shy. I met her while I went on vacation. While I was in Iraq working. We met in Turkey, which is just an hour away from where I was. We spent 2 weeks together. We were already in love because we'd been talking on Skype for close to, how long? 4 to 6 months? Something like that. We'd been talking. So we pretty much knew each other before we ever went and actually met each other. Everything was great. We took plenty of pictures. After that is when we decided to file for the visa, and then we had taken a couple of more vacations as well. One in Thailand, another one in Turkey. So we had plenty of pictures and proof that we were together. So it was easy for me for that, on that part. Now, once you do that, the waiting is a long time. So don't think that you can just file your paperwork and she's going to be there next week, because that just is not possible. I had an attorney that was pushing paperwork through, and it took well over a year, probably a year and a half it took for me to actually get her visa in her hand. So be prepared to wait. That's why it's my recommendation to do it yourself. Then you're the one that's in control of the paperwork, and you know when it gets filed. It's much easier than to have an attorney and leaving it up to them to wonder when they're going to file it. The attorney had me do much more paperwork than was actually needed. That's because the attorney was a money-back guarantee if you don't get it. So he made sure that they had everything covered to where there was no way it was going to get rejected, which meant I had to do much more paperwork than I needed to do. So keep that in mind. If I had to do it over, I would definitely do it myself. Now, I'm going to put on here an email as well at the end of this, so that any questions that you may have that I haven't covered, you can shoot me an email and I'll try to answer as much as I can, as well as I can. I'm not an attorney, not a professional. I can only answer by my experience. But trust me, I've went through plenty of experience with this. Now, that being said, let's get into the part of what happens after she comes. Now, a lot of Americans have this great idea that I'll get a Russian wife and they're going to be so much better than American women, right? Come on, guys, that's what you're thinking. You're going to get one. Now, first thing, they're not going to be your slave. That's not going to happen. If you want a woman that takes care of you, that will cook your dinners, you have a bad day, you have a hard day at work, you need a foot massage at night, a Russian woman will do that for you. American woman, ask her to rub your feet. What is she going to tell you? You know what she's going to say. So anyway, it was my choice for a Russian woman because I was tired of American women. I had been divorced 4 times from American women and was not about to do that again. We've been together now for over a year, married, and I couldn't be happier with it. She takes care of me. Everything she takes care of. All I do is work. I pay the bills. She takes care of the entire house. Everything is perfect. Well, except for maybe dusting. But anyway, that being said, Robbie, you have anything you want to add? What's it been like for you since you've been here? Why don't you talk to
For me, important. I'm next to you, and
talk a little bit to the Russian women. Because they're going to know what do they expect when they get to America? That maybe they're thinking it's going to be the golden opportunity for fortune and fame, and as American men have known, and it's happened quite often, American men will meet Russian women, they'll bring them over here, marry them, and then 6 months later, after they get their green card, they divorce them, get alimony or not alimony, but now they're in America legal, and they can go find the guy they want. That has happened. Pick wisely.
I will make other video for Russian women, for everybody, for men. I will make, sorry my bad English, I will make video for how I see America, how Russian and America not same.
Okay. Apparently she ain't got much to say, guys. So I told you she's blonde. Beautiful, though, isn't she? Beautiful? Look at me. I'm 55 years old, an old fat man, and I got this. And she loves me. And you know, that's a big difference. With the way that they love is so much different than American women. She could be a model, and I go into Walmart or somewhere, and she's on my arm the whole time. And does that make you feel good? Anyway, it's a great, great thing to do to marry a Russian woman. And if you decide to do that, if you need any help, let me know. God bless you, and hope that everything works out great for you, because it sure did for me. Have a good day, guys.